Okay, I got kind of a big question for you.
All right.
What? Okay, how do you view good and evil in the world? How do you view like? How do I explain that better? Like, you know, is there a God? Is what is evil to good? Like, what? Why are they here?
Um, I don't believe in God, obviously. Um, but I just I don't know if good and evil are it's not always black and white. So you could have good intentions and do something wrong, but that doesn't make it evil. It's just not good. It's wrong.
Yeah, but okay, go ahead.
So if you have the right intentions, sometimes you can't make up an excuse and be like, but I meant to do this. Like sometimes you gotta stop and be like, oh, I understand why you're upset though, because what you see is me doing
Hmm.
something wrong. But then on the other person's end, they should be able to see that you didn't intend for that. But you could go back and forth about that, it just continue arguing on who's in the wrong there.
Right.
And no one could be in the wrong.
But let me pose this: if there's no God, and obviously I'm not a religious person. I'm not coming at it from a religious point of view. I'm coming at it from non-atheist point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if there's no God or devil or whatever, why is it like what is love? What is good and evil? Like why do they even exist? How can they exist? With if everyone dies and it's black,
Mm-hmm.
there's no point in even existing.
I like to think that there's nothing after death.
I do not. That scares the shit out of me.
It is much more comforting. It used to scare me when I was younger, but it's so comforting to know I don't have to think when I die. I don't have to be excited for the next stage of death slash life. I just not exist. Oh, I can relax now.
Well, they say that when you reach the other side, it's like the most freeing like thing
Or it's hell.
possible.
Or it's
No,
hell.
I don't. Honestly, I don't think hell is a real place.
I think hell is a state of mind.
Exactly. You put yourself in your own hell
Yep.
because okay, I don't want to. I want to like let you like give your thing first.
Um,
Um,
I think love and feeling and free will is part of being alive. So I'm not going to say that God gives us love and faith and everything. I think you
well, it
make your
doesn't
own.
give you faith. That's not. But anyway, so from my point of view, I feel like God is not just a person in the sky. You know what I mean? That story's
First of all,
get
let's get rid of
yeah
that.
yeah. And he'll like if I pray to find my keys, then he'll I'm like shut the fuck, dude. What are we doing? It's like you're thinking it way too simply terms. But like in my point of view, I feel like love kind of God is love
Hmm.
because that's what connects us all. And I've heard there's so many stories about not really stories but like evidence behind when we die we all come into one collective consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are God as a whole
Yeah, that
because
makes more sense.
God is love, so as a whole we're connected. That is God because he made us. So like and this other theory I feel like I haven't like solidified yet, but I definitely think there's something to it where it's the same thing with like trees and the oxygen or trees and humans with oxygen and carbon dioxide where one can exist without the other.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've heard many people say that like we are God, and I was always like kind of like skeptical about that and like didn't really understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But then the one day I was like driving in my car and I was like, oh shit, it makes sense because if God is love and there's no conscious thing, animal or humans, to experience it, there's no point in love existing. It's just up there floating around in space. There's no point.
Yep.
There has to be there has to be consciousness to feel love, and that's the whole point of it.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, God can exist without us because love doesn't have. If love's just there with no consciousness, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
There's no one to experience it. So God cannot exist without us, and we can't exist without Him. You know what I mean? So we're the same thing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Um, like I don't feel like I'm just like spewing my shit at you, but
You're good.
um, Yeah, I also feel like the devil doesn't exist. I feel like you give him power,
Mm-hmm.
and like he kind of exists if you want him to exist.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If you feed him that negative energy.
Gay demon.
It's like, in your view, what is evil? What is
Um,
the origin? What is, what is the evil to good? What is the connection?
I feel like the origin was just hate, where someone didn't like
Well, of
something
course, but
about
where's
him.
the origin of hate? Like
I don't know.
sadness.
Sad. Oh, that's right.
Therefore, everyone's happy. Hate can't exist.
But you can't be happy without sadness either.
There's also that. It's very tricky.
Mm-hmm.
But then the thing is, I mean, well, it gets complicated because, like, when you think about the other side, whether if you want to call it heaven or not,
Mm-hmm.
there's obviously no sadness there. But I wouldn't sure you would call it happiness either because it's not a human emotion. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like you kind of break out. Well, you are breaking out of your human brain when you cross over. So you're no longer confined to the human emotions.
Emotions, yeah.
So I feel like, is that considered happiness because it feels good, or is it just pure love? I think it's more pure love.
Yeah, because I don't think it would be just one emotion.
It's not like you're not getting oxytocin anymore. You know what I mean? It's different.
Yeah.
So like, is hate only a earthly thing? Because
If you have the ability to love it in this heaven, I feel like you should have the ability. Would we also have free will again?
I don't. I mean, how the fuck would I know? But like, I feel like it's when people describe heaven, they always say, "Oh yeah, it's so fun. You can do whatever you want." I'm like, it's not like a fucking
It's not a vacation.
HOA.
Yeah,
Like you're not
no.
gonna fucking get a mailbox up there. Like it's a different dimension. Like it's different. You couldn't even imagine this. Like it's completely out of this realm. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like for us to try to describe it is almost like stupid. For us to be like, oh, I know what heaven's like. Like no, you don't. Like you've never been in this realm before, and you can't comprehend it because it's so big.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I feel like time is a construct of God. Like people, the mystery of time, like where does time start, where does it end? I feel like once you cross over to whatever that side is, time doesn't exist there. But we just can't comprehend time not existing because we never known anything else.
Yep.
How does us not knowing anything else mean that ours is the true part?
Is the only right
Right.
answer. Yeah.
Because we just can't understand there not being time. But
Mm-hmm.
when you cross over, then you're
You
enlightened.
experience
Yeah, because you
it,
break
and
out of
then
your human brain.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a show called The Good Place, and it was really good. And there's this one
It's like a
kid.
hospital thing, right? Hospital.
Nope. It
It's
was
not.
it's about God and like how God doesn't exist, but there is a good place and a bad place. So you're in the good place, and then there's a huge plot twist, and it's amazing. Um, but they talk about they're like Doug Forsett or something. They're like Doug figured out everything. He tripped on on psychedelics, and then
That's where I'm getting a lot of my information from.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, and then he guessed it all, and then now he lives a 100% pure life. Then they look and they're like, wait, why is Doug going to hell? And then they go find Doug, and it's because he's like, he has no sense of self. He's doing everything for every other person. There's a kid
Mm.
who bullies him, and he's like, give me your shoe. And Doug gives him his shoe, and he like buries all his snails, and he cries for them, and he walks everywhere because he can't drive. And I don't know why he doesn't use a bike, but like he does everything anyone wants him to do, and he does what he thinks is the most right thing to do. So pretty much he goes crazy.
How would that make him go to hell?
Well, when they go over,
So they just like have a spaceship and
it's pretty much a door. Like they just make a
yeah.
door, and they they go
It's
through
like
this.
they're in like the fucking thing in Star Wars, the big what the home base thing.
Yep.
They have one of those in heaven. Like,
But they go through this the door, and then they get to his house, and they're like pretending to be like reporters, and then he gives them filtered piss water, because he doesn't want to waste water.
Oh, filtered. Oh,
So yeah, filtered, and
wait. So there's water in hell in this universe?
no. He's Doug is alive, but he
Oh.
in a journal it like says who's going to hell, who's going to heaven. So they want to go down and like help him so he can go to
Yeah.
heaven because he guessed 98% accurately, more than any other human had.
Yeah.
And he goes over and he's like, "Well, if you're feeding people piss water, I mean filtered piss water, that would probably explain why you're going to hell." And
I mean, that's so silly.
I don't remember what it like they had a list of things, but I was like, well, he's eating like vegetables he grew himself. He's filtering his own water, but that's kind of nasty, but he's not hurting anyone but himself. And,
Yeah, how the fuck
like,
is that demon going to hell? Like when people put it in these layman's terms of like,
Yep.
this is what you do to not go to hell. It's like, well, the
It's
universe is pretty
really-
fucking big. It's a little bit more complex than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no black and white version, but the show was really cool. It was crazy though. It was such a good show. I rewatch it like once a year.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I thought it was a hospital thing,
No.
like a Grey's Anatomy or something like that.
Oh, the Good Doctor. That's what you're thinking about.
I am a surgeon. Is that one?
I am a surgeon, Dr. Han. We got to that episode. That was a pretty good episode. I am a surgeon. Okay, Sean, you're a surgeon. Wait, really?
But yeah, but with the whole like, I feel like evil is, because like how cold is just lack of heat. Cold is not its own thing. Cold is only there because there's no heat.
Same with shadow, lack of light.
Exactly. So dark is lack of light. Negative is lack of positive energy.
Yeah,
You know what
so
I mean?
evil,
Because when when you don't feel loved, you have hate. Because you're sad.
Yep.
So it's like hate and anger and all these negative things. It's all sadness
Yep.
because you don't feel loved. You know what I mean? If everyone felt this
Pure love.
yeah, pure, forever lasting love, they would not have a reason to hate at all.
Yeah.
You just don't even feel it. You know what I mean? Because I've experienced that. I've experienced like more enlightened forms of consciousness, and that's really what it's like. It's like, yeah, I don't have any reason to hate anybody. That's just ridiculous. Like you just don't care. You know what I mean? That's why a demon's a fallen angel. That's the whole story.
Yep.
Because it was an angel, but now they're taken. That got that love taken away, so now they're a demon. You know what I mean? And a demon wants nothing more than to just wreck everything and wallow in its own sadness.
Yeah.
It's like a child. It's like an angry kid. The angry kid wants to hurt everything else, so they all can just be sad together and just not change anything.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, in Supernatural, they depict Lucifer, and they keep talking about how he's just a grumpy little baby.
It literally, yeah, yeah. That's a good way to describe it. I never made that connection before with a kid, angry little kid, throwing a tantrum. Because it really is like it's just this all this evil stuff. It's just throwing a tantrum for not being able to be in heaven. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, it's like that little kid on the plane you want to fucking throw out.
Oh my god, yeah. You're like Satan. Your child is Satan.
I ain't been this high Perkins in a long time. I ain't been this high Perkins in a long time. I took 2 30s and a half of a third one. I feel like I can see everything with my third eye. Feel like I'm floating, see the world from a bird's eye view. These drugs remind me of a girl I knew. A little sweet, a little sour, and it vibes with the mood. Ain't no competition, baby, but I'm higher than you. Pray to God I never come down, down, down.